I'd like to call the Water Board meeting to order for Wednesday, October 11th. Please stand for the pledge. Roll call, Mr. Troxel, please.
Yes, sir. Councilman Rob Getzloff,
Present.
Councilwoman Robin Arvanitis, shows she's absent. Councilman Kevin Conley,
Present.
Councilman Caleb Johnson,
Present.
Councilman Thomas Schmidt. Here. Attorney David Austin,
Present.
Deputy Fire Chief David Meyer, Police Chief Pete Sormas,
Here.
Deputy Police Chief Steve McNamara, Park Superintendent John Novosich, IT Robbie Hansen, Nice Engineering Neil Simstad, Public Works Director Chad Nondorf, Director of Operations Andy Hansen, Town Manager Jim Gorman,
Here.
Recording Secretary Robin Teal, Clerk Treasurer Michael Troxel, present.
Let's see, there we go. So we will remove at the time of Tom Schmidt, Councilman Tom Schmidt, and Councilman Caleb Johnson. So the minutes of December 13, 2023 public meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion. I'll second it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries 2-0. Claims, are there any additional claims, Mr. Troxel?
No additional claims, Mr. President.
Move to approve claims.
Have a motion, I'll second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. Are there any staff reports, Jim?
Yes, Mr. Nondorf has one report for you guys.
Okay, go ahead, Chad.
Good evening. We're just kicked off two water main projects. The first one is on Oakside Drive from US 41 to Meadow Lane. Second one will be on Hickory, just replacing some old aging water main where we've had more than multiple water main breaks on and upgrading the infrastructure on those streets.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Council members?
No.
Kevin? No? Okay. There is no old business. Under new business, a resolution 2023-1 is a resolution to transfer funds within a category of appropriations. Mr. Troxel?
Yes, Mr. President. Yeah, this is, as it stated, a transfer of funds within a category of appropriations for the Water O&M Fund presented to you.
Motion to approve resolution 2023-1.
Okay, a motion, I'll second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0. That does it for new business. Any business from the floor regarding waterworks? Any business from the floor regarding waterworks? Any business from the floor regarding waterworks? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. We'll move on to redevelopment.
Call to order the redevelopment commission meeting for Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. The time is 7:05 p.m. The redevelopment commission is comprised of the entire council. So I will add council members Tom Schmidt and Caleb Johnson for redevelopment. Okay, minutes of the September 13th, 2023 public meeting.
So move.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. Claims, any additional claims?
No additional claims, Mr. President.
So
Pay
moved.
the claims.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Hanson, could you give us a report on the RFP?
Yes, 22 West Joliet Street RFP went out for advertisement today, and it will be advertised again on the 25th in the two local newspapers. November 30th, the proposals will be due, and then after that, we will set up study sessions to review the proposals that are submitted. So we're
Thank
excited
you.
to see some development downtown.
Very exciting. Yes, thank you. Any other reports from staff? Council members?
None.
Nope.
Okay. We have no old business. We have one item under new business. Consider approval of change order number 1 in the amount of $3,218, and pay request number 1 in the amount of $449,163 for GE Marshall Incorporated for the Eagle Ridge Drive Culvert Replacement Project. Mr. Hanson?
Thank you, Mr. Colony.
Gorman?
Thank you. Yeah, this is Eagle Ridge Drive culvert replacement project. That culvert was in pretty bad shape. There's only one pay request because they finished it in a timely manner. The change order involved when they had to move the water main under the new culvert. They added a valve to that water main, and then another part of that change order was extra signage, road signage we needed for another week. So thought it was a pretty good project. It looks great out there. We're just doing restoration on that project now.
Thank you. Any discussion on this item?
No.
Nope.
Motion to approve change order number 1 in the amount of $3,218 and approve pay request number 1 in the amount of $449,163.00 for G Marshall Inc.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Mr. Connolly, sorry if I just wanted to add that this project was part of the project that we got 50% funding from the Little Calumet River Basin Commission. So
Thank you
that
to them.
was very helpful
Thank
in
you to them, yes.
moving this thing
absolutely.
along. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any business from the floor regarding redevelopment? Any business from the floor? Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.
I'd like to call to order the utility board meeting for October 11th, 2023 at 7:08 PM. The roll call remains the same. We have minutes of the September 13th, 2023 public meeting.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, minutes are approved. Moving on to claims. Are there any additional claims, Ms. Treasurer?
No additional claims, Mr. President.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Claims are approved. Are there any reports from staff regarding the utility board?
Yes, Mr. Johnson, I'd just like to report on a project that we are currently doing. We're in the early phases of doing down at the wastewater treatment plant. There is a biosolids storage building where we store all of our dewatered sludge. This facility was built in 1980 and it's past its useful life. So we are reconstructing that building, and like I said, that should be probably a 1-year project from now till it's finished. So that should be going out to bid probably within the next 60 days or so. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Any other reports from staff? Any reports from council members regarding the utility board?
No.
No.
Hearing none, we'll move on to old business. We have none. We'll move on to new business. Under new business, we have resolution 2023-12, a resolution to transfer funds within a category of appropriations. Mr. Troxel?
Yes, Councilman President Johnson. This is similar to what we did in the Waterworks Board earlier. This is a transfer of funds within a category of appropriations from the wastewater treatment plant superintendent, as it's stated in your transaction there.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution is approved. Any business from the floor regarding the utility board? Any business from the floor regarding the utility board? Any business from the floor? Hearing none, we are adjourned.
Good evening. I'd like to call the town council meeting for the town of Schererville for Wednesday, October 11th at approximately 7:08 PM. The roll call stays the same as the utility board, all four members that are here tonight. First item on the agenda is the minutes from the September 13th, 2023 public meeting.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Next item is claims. Any additional claims, Mr. Troxel?
No additional claims, Mr. President.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and we have a second on claims. Any discussion on claims? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Next item's reports. We'll start to our left, our Deputy Fire Chief Dave Meyer,
Nothing to report, sir.
Police Chief Pete Sormaz,
Yes, sir. Thank you. Just want to remind everybody at the end of the month, we have Halloween upon us once again for 2023. And trick or treat hours are 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the police department will be out in the neighborhoods also to increase patrols to ensure everybody's safety. So it's October 31st, Tuesday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.
thank you, Chief. Deputy Chief Steve McEmeyer,
No reports.
Park Superintendent John Novosich,
No report.
our Town Engineer, Public Works Director Chad Narno, Operation Manager Annie Hanson,
No reports.
and Town Manager.
No report.
Any reports from council members?
Just one item, just wanted to mention our Public Works Director, Chad Nondorf, great job coordinating all the needed improvements in town with new curbs and sidewalks and paving, a lot to juggle, a lot of moving parts, a lot of communication to residents that seemed to go very, very well. So my thanks to you. Job well done.
Any other comments? No other comments? Next item is public comments regarding agenda items. Is there any public comments regarding agenda items? No public comments regarding, we'll move right into our next item. Our next item, we have a special presentation here tonight. Dave Uran from our South Shore Convention and Visitor Authority, and we welcome you, Dave. Good to see you.
Well, thank you for having me, and a lot of familiar faces here. And good evening to our council members, our staff members, and our community of Schererville here. We're honored to be here tonight to present what's happening in the South Shore. Before I begin, I'd like to introduce some members of our audience here that are part of our staff. Your appointment to the board of directors, John Buscemi is here as well. Greg Falkowski is our chief operating officer, and Megan Gooden is our chief sports and leisure officer, is also in attendance as well, in case you guys have any questions about any of the facilities or board action or sports, which we're going to dive into here shortly here. So again, thank you. President, thank you for allowing me to have what you said, about an hour for a presentation here.
5 minutes.
Just kidding. Just want to comment, that was very, as the former mayor Crown Point and you guys doing that many board meetings that quickly, very efficient. So kudos to that, though. That's good to hear. So we're going to start. I believe I should be able to click, right? Is this? Yes. We have a tagline with our organization. This is our 40th anniversary. We were established in 1983 and building a stronger tourism industry, one visitor at a time. Again, we're celebrating 40 years. Our 40-year acronym is Forging Opportunities for Residents, Travelers, and Youth Sports in the region. So what do we do? Okay, well, a lot of times people think the South Shore is the train. We are not the train. I don't know the schedule. We have a double tracking, which is awesome, but we don't control any of the train. We are the South Shore, basically, this is the Lake Michigan shoreline all the way through our representation here in Lake County. We prospect and secure and hosting sporting events. That's a huge book of our business here. Really showcase a lot of the amenities that take place in the region, whether it's city to city, town to town, or visitors who come within the state of Indiana or surrounding states, or some international teams have actually been part of the South Shore book of business. Sports tourism. The reason why I'm here to talk about sports tourism is because it's a billion, with a B, $1 billion industry. It's really a key component to what really is an economic spark plug to the engine that really transforms municipalities here in the region. But we also market to leisure travelers. I mean, obviously with the national park, interesting fact there, the national park is the third most visited national park in the nation. We beat Yellowstone, okay? They have Kevin Costner, we have Lake Michigan. Okay, so we're doing very well. We have almost 5 million visitors alone that just come and sees our national park at the dunes. And that translates to a lot of disposable income that will go into the economic development of the region itself. But we also promote our regional's business and attractions. Celebrating their 40th anniversary this year as well as Albany's, which is a huge component. Anytime you can put gummies in space, you know that you're doing things very well, right? So our shorelines, our businesses, our breweries, our sports complexes, our great dining. We have a lot of things to offer here in Lake County. And visitors, which is really key, is they don't know boundaries, right? So they don't know if they're in Schererville, they're in Dyer, or they're in Crown Point, or anywhere in the region, right? They just want to see quality versus quantity. They want to see great things, be able to stay here longer to really spend their disposable income in support our economic growth. What are the benefits of tourism? This is a big part of our presentation here. Community investments, job creations, help with quality of place. So you can see I took the liberty of doing some research on you guys. These are your bike trails, these are your public safety, these are your roundabouts, these are your fire departments, these are constructions and stuff like that. Why is tourism a big part in making sure you have the dollars that are available to reinvest in your own backyards? Here's some of the highlights just in Lake County. We talked about this before. This is in 2021. We're chasing, we're in 23, chasing 22 now, but the analyticals have come out. $1.1 billion was spent in 2021. We know that those numbers are higher in 22 and they're higher in 23 as we move forward. But what does that translate into? Over 15,000 new jobs supported for the traveler spendings, under $500 million in total wages, 221 million in total federal, state, and local taxes, and 774 million in total local economic impact. Now, the key component of the whole thing is we have over 190,000 households. Okay, what that does, we see in that big board right here, is very shocking. As you can show, slide here. Need a drum roll here. Here we go. Without tourism, $633 per household of tax collection where it goes to the municipalities, whether through the state, federal, state, or local municipalities, would have to come from another source. So what that means is that when tourism comes in and people use their disposable income, we kind of timeshare our locations, the quality place and things of that nature. It gives you, as the elected officials here, additional cushion to put in elsewhere that sometimes would have to be divided up by other uses and sources. So you can hire more police officers and firefighters, or put more dollars into your community crossing grants so you can hit that $1 million threshold. Put more money in your bike trails. So our goal in tourism through our bureau is to take that 633, work directly with our municipalities, and make that 700, make it 800, make it to $1,000 of savings. So that way the impact can be even greater for the opportunities here in Northwest Indiana. So partnering with the South Shore opens the door for new economic opportunities, as we talk about. As you start to, we put visitors in front of all the businesses. So when we talk to chambers, well, the one question we always ask the chamber members, do you need people to make your business survive and be successful? Absolutely, that's 100%. Our goal in the public sector is to put as many people in front of those doorsteps and have the private side business owner have a quality of a product that will lead them inside their brick and mortar buildings and be able to go ahead and sell their products. That is a complete relationship that we're trying to establish here in Northwest Indiana through the tourism side. Future opportunities to invest in quality place. I believe you guys have had some long discussions now about what would take place at the Indiana Speedway. As we look at different things about a $1.1 billion industry in sports itself, we here in the region are looking forward to be a support service for those opportunities that you guys have. Again, at the end of the day, you guys will decide what's going to be best for what Schererville is, but we also want to hopefully play a part with you guys to guide you so that way you have a facility there or an idea that will be great economic engine for not only Schererville, but the region on a 12-month basis. The challenge here we have in Northwest Indiana is the seasons you can get all four in one day. It can snow, it can be great. Last week was 90, here we are putting the heat on our houses on today. So it's a big challenge. So the indoor facilities and the outdoor facilities need to look at how that can really co-op. I know a lot of people will say that, hey, we have plenty of indoor spaces, we have plenty of outdoor spaces, but we really don't. You guys play a big part in a perfect example would be the NSA World Series. That's over 200 teams that embark here in July to play in a World Series here, and one facility can't host that. We share that over 3 counties. Matter of fact, here you guys play a big part at your sportsplex here now for softball. We do it in Crown Point, we do it in Dyer. We only go all the way out to LaPorte. But we want to be able to have more opportunities to bring more teams into the region because that amateur sports has been through the test of time, did not even dip at all. We saw the housing crash in 2008. Sports didn't follow that format. We saw COVID. that took place in 2019. Amateur sports didn't fall off either. Always, we're told when we invested money in Crown Point or we invested money through tourism, through sports, people always ask me, what if you put all that money in one basket right there and sports fail? Then I think we all are in big trouble because we always invest in our kids for a better tomorrow than we have today. And as long as that's our guiding light, we're going to continue to work with our municipalities to bring these types of events that are impactful to you here in Schererville or in the region itself. And you can build facilities that are great for the in-house leagues Monday through Thursday. And then we come in and help you guys develop a weekend opportunity for tourism to come in here and spend additional disposable income. So they can go to T-Bowls, right? They can go to other places in your shopping center up and all the investments you guys have made on Main Street. All that extra money comes in, provides economic opportunity, more jobs, or current jobs they stay more stable. And we're able to go ahead and raise that 633 to 700 to 800 to $900, or eventually you can go higher. So I have a couple examples up here. These aren't renderings that could fit on your facility. It's just ideas, right? Do we need more soccer fields? Do we need more football or softball or lacrosse fields? We need more pickleball. Pickleball is probably the fastest growing sport in the nation. And we don't have a facility here in Northwest Indiana that can actually host a national tournament. And there's everybody playing pickleball everywhere, right? All ages enjoy that sport. So when you start to look and forecast what might be the best interest for you guys, we just want to have a seat at the table and kind of show you the things that are coming across our desk, some of the things that we have to turn away because we don't have the ability to have facilities here in Northwest Indiana, which we're very competitive. Being outside the Chicago market, which is the third largest market in the nation, we want to be able to capture that here in Indiana because we have better benefits. We have better taxes. We have better safety. We have better facilities. And we're just 35 miles southeast of Chicago. They have the airports. They can land there, but then we want to pull them here and put them in our hotels, and we want to put them on our sports fields, and we want to showcase our national parks, our housing, our ability for people to shop here, eat here, and do different things. That's what tourism is all about. So again, building a stronger community tourism, one visitor at a time. We're here to answer any questions you might have, but this is just basically us going around to each community and showing them the value of what we do in each and every day. Our staff works out there very diligently to make sure Northwest Indiana is put on in a positive sense, and to have people come here, city to city, town to town, state to state, or nationwide here, or globally here to Northwest Indiana. Any questions you might have?
I have a couple of comments. First of all, Dave, as you know, Schererville has a lot of hotels, and I've seen several of your big tournaments that you've brought in has carried over and filled up the whole town of Schererville several weekends over the years. And that's awesome what you guys do. And of course, Crown Point now is in the process of building some hotels to help on that. So that's a big deal. You've done a great job on bringing sporting events to the area, and I want to commend you for that.
Thanks, Tom. And our benchmark, because you have to figure out where you want to be able to know that you're doing things right. So one thing we do collect is an innkeeper's assessment. You'll never hear me say the word tax, right? Because to me, it's not a tax, it's an assessment. A tax is actually something that's locally generated and locally made. We have an assessment on each one of those hotel rooms, then we take those dollars and reinvest those assessments back into the communities. And as long as we see that assessment growing each and every year, that means we're doing the right things to fill the hotels that are in your backyard here and have those opportunities for people to stay here not for 1 or 2 days, but for 7 days or longer, and spend their disposable income so they can support the commerce that you guys have developed here in Schererville.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Anybody else have any comments? Staff, any comments for Dave or his staff?
Just want to thank you for coming and presenting.
We appreciate that. The NSA World Series application is to your Parks Department. We are waiting for a signature. We like to be able, we believe, is this correct, Megan, that we have a 5-year renewal on the table for them to keep coming back, which is awesome, because that is over with 200 teams, over a $10.2 million economic impact to the region. And you guys play a big part of that. And we're thankful that you guys have the facilities to partner with us. And we want to continue to grow that book of business as we go forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for your time.
and Dave, if you need to talk to our park superintendent, he's in the audience. So if you needed to talk.
That's for Megan. That's why
Oh, okay.
she does that. So.
That'd be Megan's field. Okay.
Yes. But thank you for your time. We appreciate your support and partnership. And as we move forward, a couple dates that we'd like to make sure it's on your calendars. You'll get emails here shortly here. November 1st, we are doing a legislative reception at the Hard Rock at 4 o'clock. You guys are all welcome to be there as elected officials. We're also having our Christmas party for the South Shore on December 16th. And an invite of that as well will be coming out shortly as well. So we'd love to see you guys in attendance as truly partners at the South Shore.
And we appreciate the emails. We do get all your emails, so.
Appreciate that. Okay.
So your staff does a great job getting that all out to all the elected officials, yeah.
Thank you. We'll take that back. So appreciate you guys' time. And we're a phone call away or text message away, and we appreciate everything you guys do. So thanks
Dave.
for allowing us to be here. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.
And Mr. Buscemi, thank you for representing Schererville on the board. If there's no other comments, we'll move on to next item is old business. Item A is ordinance 1995, an ordinance establishing a current travel policy for the town of Schererville, Lake County, Indiana, replacing all existing ordinances, resolutions, and policies or parts thereof, including ordinance number 1515 in conflict herewith and all matters related thereto. This was deferred from the September 13th, 2023 meeting. Mr. Gorman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, this travel ordinance was just recently updated from when we had it on the agenda last month. So we cleared up the reimbursement language a little bit to make it more presentable. We added some definitions to this one compared to the old one on meals and gratuities. And then we also raised the allowances for meals while traveling. That's about the only changes we made on this one.
Thank you, Mr. Gorman.
Thank you.
Any comments?
No comments. Make a motion to approve ordinance 1995
Second.
as amended. Thank you, Mr. Usher.
We have a motion on the floor to approve with the amendment. We have a second?
I seconded.
Yeah.
We have a second. We have a motion. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Motion to adopt ordinance 1995.
Second?
We have a motion. We have a second to adopt. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Item B is ordinance 1996 is adoption of the 2024 civil town budget. This is on second reading. Mr. Troxel?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. As you stated, this is the second public meeting held on the town municipal 2024 budget that's been proposed. Just some general comments. During the last month's public hearing of the notice to taxpayers, there were no oral remonstrations, nor were there any written remonstrations received on this 2024 civil budget. So we're good to move forward. The 2024 budget is figured with an increase of 4.5%. The Department of Local Government Finance has stated that the maximum growth levy factor will be about 4%. So we always go higher just in case there's an adjustment there on the maximum levy growth where it might be 4.2% or 4.3%. We expect some downward adjustments to this adopted budget with the DLGF. The total budget for all funds for our budget is $53,765,639. The proposed tax rate of this is 0.666. Don't care for that number. But after the DLG adjustments, which we feel that they will come down to the 4% level, tax rate expected to be 0.5192. In comparison to last year's proposed tax rate, we sent it in last year at 0.6959. And it was reduced down to 0.5199. So actually, if everything comes into play, the 0.5192 tax rate will be lower than what we have currently this year. So this is all good budget and it is sustainable. And if you're looking for a motion on this, let me read it to you and we can ask any questions if you like. The motion would be to adopt ordinance 1996 and authorize the clerk treasurer to submit all documents through the Gateway portal for review, certification, and approval by the Department of Local Government Finance.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion. We have a second to approve. Or is this totally to adopt?
No, just to approve.
Just to approve. We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0.
Now we can move to adopt currently.
Correct. Yes.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is we're moving to new business. Ordinance 1997 is an ordinance providing for reduction appropriations in the ARPA COVID-19 Fund, Water Operating and Maintenance O&M Fund, Wastewater Operation and Maintenance O&M Fund, and Police Pension Funds for the Town of Schererville for the year 2023 and all matters related thereto. Once again, Mr. Troxel.
Thank you, Mr. President. The following reduction of appropriations on the 2023 budget are being done to properly assist with funding of the 2024 budget. The DLGF recommends making reductions of appropriated funds that will not be used in the budget year appropriated. So we've identified these items here that will not be used by this year. It's recommended that we take them out so we can properly appropriate them for the 2024 budget.
Thank you, Mr. Troxel.
Motion to approve ordinance 1997.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Motion to adopt ordinance 1997.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you all.
Next item is Resolution 2023-13 is a resolution to transfer funds within the category of appropriations. Once again, Mr. Troxel.
Mr. President, as we done in the couple other departments, that we do have a transfer of funds. These were recommended by the department heads and administration to make these funds to keep our budget balanced in those appropriations.
Thank you.
Mr. President, motion to approve resolution 2023-13.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Item C is consider approval of change order number 1 in the amount of $3,218 and pay request number 1 in the amount of $449,163 for GE Marshall Incorporated. This has to do with the Eagle Ridge Drive culvert replacement project, and this came from the redevelopment agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Mr. Gorman, do you have any comments on this at all?
No, sir.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Item D is consider a variance of use to allow a home business to consist of police security canine training. Board of Zoning Case 23-8-11. Location is 510 77th Avenue. The petitioner is, excuse me if I mispronounce it, but Elad Pakar and Julie Picard. BZA favorable recommendation with conditions. The conditions, there will be no outdoor kennels and no overnight boarding of canines. Petitioners will provide proof of liability insurance. Number 3 is petitioners will have planted 30 additional trees on the east side of their property per the proposal provided by Victory Gardens and submitted as evidence during the hearing. 4 is petitioners will comply with all applicable local, state, and federal regulations. And number 5 is petitioner will not train nor have on the premises more than 4 non-police canines per day. Mr. Gorman.
Thank you, Mr. President. This case before you came with a 3-0 favorable recommendation from the BZA with conditions, as you just read. And I believe the petitioner is here tonight if you guys have any questions regarding this case.
I do have some questions, Mr. President.
Would a petitioner and your, or Attorney Weezer, are you representing the petition? Yes. Please step up and state your name and address.
My name's Jim Weezer. I'm an attorney here in Schererville. Law offices at 429 West Lincoln Highway, and I represent, represent the petitioners.
Mr. President.
Questions?
I have some questions, actually, some concerns. And Mr. Weezer, these are concerns that came up somewhat during the BZA hearing, and I was equally concerned, like the residents that came to speak on this topic, about the safety of this business and the canines and things like that. So I had some questions, and I want to put out right up front, I like the business. I like the business model. I even like the location. I just want to make sure it's safe for the neighbors, and I want to make sure that we have done all we can as a town to protect the neighbors from anything bad happening. So my concern was about less about sound, more about safety, with particularly the non-police dogs. When I looked at this, I thought it was going to be police canines only, and that wasn't really what was being presented. There was also going to be folks coming off of the street, or folks, neighbors, friends, family, whoever coming in to have their problem dogs retrained or trained with your clients. And I think that's great. We need that training here. Obviously, we have plenty of dog bites that happen from untrained dogs. So I certainly want to stop that from happening. Along with that, though, we want to make sure that these problem dogs or these dogs that need training are coming into a safe and secure location. So what I had thought of, and maybe this isn't feasible, but maybe this is an idea that we can talk about here today, is maybe can we fence in, or can your client fence in a drop-off zone so that when people are coming in with their dogs off the street, they have a safe place that they should be on a leash, theoretically. Hopefully they're all on a leash and we don't have any concerns, but sometimes they might not be. Sometimes they might escape. And so I thought maybe there was a way to, and I see the property up here, maybe there's a way to secure a grassy area and the parking lot area with a fence that is controlled with a gate that automatically closes behind the cars or something. And maybe there's a way to be able to secure that area for people coming in and out of there to drop off these dogs. I sure don't want one of these neighbors on either side to get bitten by a dog that runs off, or heaven forbid, the dog runs off into the road and gets run over, or causes an accident where somebody drives into the ditch or something. Any number of possibilities. And I'm just hoping that we might be able to have a little dialogue about how to secure the area better.
Well, first of all, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. My belief is, and I'll let my client speak here in a second, because I think it appears that he would like to address that. From my perspective, this was fully vetted at the BZA that conducts the public hearing, and we're certainly in no position this evening to say, for example, we would agree to a gate and a gate with maybe some kind of a lock or mechanism on it, which would be substantial expense that was never ever raised at the BZA level. Not that we wouldn't consider enhancing safety if we can. I think some of the conditions that you all saw address that issue of enhancing the safety factors and the safety concerns. And I know part of it was noise, and I agree that's probably not the primary issue that we face with the operation of the facility. We thought that the enclosed facility next door, not next door, in the north side of the property, would provide quite a level of security. So having the discussion and consideration, I guess, is okay. I don't know that we'd ever be able to come to any kind of a resolution this evening, especially in light of the fact that at least one of the proposals, Caleb, that you suggested would be rather costly. But Elad, if you want to come on up. Hey, Elad. you want to come on up? If Elad wants to come up, he can certainly, I guess, express his opinion and give you his thoughts and his ideas on it. Maybe that'll prove to be helpful.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you for allowing me to talk.
Can you state your name and address?
Yes,
Hey,
my
can
name
you
is
pull the
Elad.
mic down a bit, sir? Can you just pull the mic down?
Better?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, my name is Elad Bachar, and I just want to point out that the address is 510 East 77th. So it's hard to see it on the map, but on the west side, it's all fenced in. There is a wooden fence from the west side and to the north, where you see that pond, all the way to the other building with the brown roof. So it's fairly secure, and then most of our training, if not, I would say 99% of the training, besides just when the dog needs to do his business outside, most of the training will be indoor. It's inside the big building, and it's very secure building. There is only one door, and the door will be closed when we're doing training. Now, the purpose of that training, we can help everyone. It's not necessarily with, when we speak about, like you mentioned, dog bites, and we can definitely, help the dog owner that has problem with it. But the main thing is to give young dogs and older dogs, to train them for basic obedience. It's not, we didn't want to open that business to have like dogs with problems that might risk the neighbors. No, that's not what we want to do. So, I can assure you that, and I've been doing it for 25 years, and I pretty much see everything from all kinds of issues with dogs. And I can assure you that my first thing when we gonna open the business and the first thing is safety. So if you have any other, this has answered your question? Or?
It certainly helps me to understand your business model and what you're going for. And like I said, I don't have any problem with the business. I don't even have a problem with the location. I just want to make it secure. And just so that, I guess, for the record, to be clear, there is a fence on the east side of your property. There is a fence on the north side of your property.
Yeah.
There's no fence on the west side of your property. There is a fence on the neighboring property, on the west side of that neighboring property. And there's no fence on the south side of your property. So of your property, there's only half of your property that's fenced. And I don't know that I disagree with you that big area might be somewhat secure, but I still know that there are openings where dogs could escape, and I've seen dogs run off. I'm sure you have. I'm sure everybody has seen dogs run off. They can find the smallest little nook or cranny to sneak through and get out of there. And if you're conducting a business, in my opinion, if you're conducting a business with dogs that need training, obedience training, that would include possibly dogs that run off.
Mm-hmm.
They may not be aggressive, but if you see a dog running and you go to grab for that dog, guess what? That dog might be scared and it might just turn and bite out of fear. It may not be an aggressive dog that is coming to attack you. It might be something that's biting out of fear. I don't want that to happen either. And that's my concern, is I don't want a business to go into a residential area, which is what you're proposing, and not have adequate security to prevent the dogs from running off and causing some sort of a problem on 77th with traffic, with your neighbors. I don't want you to get into a conflict with your neighbors about dogs running into their yards or something. I don't think that would happen often, but the potential for that to happen is there, and that's what I want to prevent. So that's why I'm asking if you're willing to do something to try and secure a drop-off area so that vehicles can pull into a drop-off area, a gate can be closed, dogs can be taken out of the vehicles, go right into the building, so they are now in a secure area inside the building, on a leash, ready to go for training, and then the vehicles can leave. Or they can stay parked there while the training occurs, come right back out to the vehicles. I'm just asking for some sort of a fenced-in parking area so that dogs can be unloaded and loaded back inside of a fenced area.
Well, I mean, we can probably work something out. I have to see how we, build it and design it. So it's going to be efficient.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, we can definitely, do something about it and go from there.
All right, I appreciate that willingness. I do have a second set of concerns, and Andy, if you might scroll down. The second concern I have is that property right there on the south. Is that your only access to the back building is down that driveway? So is that going to be the business entrance through that driveway there?
Yeah, that's correct. On the east side you're talking about?
Yeah, on that east side of that second building. You don't own that building, do you? Do you know who owns that building? That's a neighbor? Do you have like an access easement or some sort of an easement to cross that? Do you have any concerns? I had concerns about, I know there's not a lot of traffic in your business, right? You have somewhere between 4 and maybe 8 cars a day or something. I thought I heard at the BZA meeting. Does that sound about right? 4 to 8 cars? Do you have any concern about that many cars driving right next to that house? Do they have kids? Do they have anything that would be out in that driveway, maybe riding bikes or playing?
What was your question again?
My question was, do you have any concerns about the amount of traffic going down that driveway? Do they have any kids that would be playing in that driveway?
Actually, young.
Sir, can you speak into the mic, please?
So, no, they don't have any kids, and they actually, a very young couple. They just moved there maybe 4 months ago, and they extreme dog lovers. They have 2 dogs, and they're very supportive of the business. They actually, the young girl just she was here in the BZA to support us actually. So.
Yeah, I was just concerned about the amount of traffic going through there and whether you had permission to do that, to continue to drive that traffic through there. I think that's all the questions I have. As long as you're in agreement with some sort of a drop-off zone, gated drop-off zone, I'm happy with proceeding forward with that condition. Yeah, an additional condition. That's correct.
I'm sorry, let you finish.
One question, I guess, just thinking about the safety concern. All the pets that come to your operation are by appointment only, right?
Yes, all the
Okay,
canines that
so
come
maybe
in.
there could be some coordination where one of your employees comes out, oh, he's the only employee. Okay, all right, well, that's not possible.
Understand what you're trying to say.
Just another thought with Councilman Johnson's safety concern
Yeah. So
is if
it's a
you're able
definitely.
to greet the customer when they pull up and help them with the
Absolutely.
dog
That-
and
that
bring
will-
the dog
that-
inside the
Yeah,
facility.
that will happen anyway, but
Okay,
I understand where you're coming from. I think it's a
that's a good safety measure.
so we can escort the client and make sure nothing happened. So that's actually a great idea, and we gonna do it anyway. It's something that every business does that. So,
Okay, thank you.
yep.
So I just want to clarify that. So in your business, you actually go and meet them and get them out of the car, get them into your facility, and then take them back? Time to pick them up? Is that what you're telling me? Is that
Yes.
what I heard?
Yes.
And you do that anyway? You do that?
Yes.
And how many other businesses like this do you have, sir?
How many businesses?
Yes.
No, this is gonna be my
This is the
first.
only, this is the only one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
If you asking because to check the experience, yes, I'm working in a different place now for the last 10 years, and we're doing it even with regular customers that come in to board their dog, I'm sorry, in our facility. We making sure that when they coming into our front desk space, all the dogs are on a leash, and of course, escorted by one of our staff.
All right, very good. Thank you for clarifying that.
I just want to clarify, that's at your current facility where you work, not the facility you're proposing here? Yes. Because you're not planning on boarding dogs at this location?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Right, but he is willing to greet them and take them and put them back in the car, so I'm okay. I mean, something that would need to be watched.
Any other comments?
Mr. President, I move to approve BZA case 23-8-11
Second?
Without an additional condition?
with the additional condition.
Yeah.
So with the additional condition of a fence drop-off zone with a gate to protect the dogs or keep the dogs enclosed.
Well,
Hold on, I don't know if our petitioner agreed to the
I don't think
fence,
he agreed to
the
the
fence part. We
Yes,
agreed.
he did.
No, if I could interrupt for a second.
Yeah.
We agreed, or Eli had said, we would agree to look into it and to find out if it could be properly designed and what it would cost. There's simply no way tonight that the imposition of that kind of a condition that may well be reasonable, but may be very expensive and very costly, that we could possibly agree to it. So we agree that we will take the opportunity to look into that. If it's made as a condition, I don't know where that leaves us, quite frankly, because we can't agree to that condition till we know what it's going to cost and how it can be designed and how it can be located.
You wouldn't be sure that it could even fit there, for that matter.
Well, all those things have to be taken into consideration. I'm not suggesting we won't. I'm just suggesting that we're not agreeing that that's a consideration, a condition that we can agree to this evening.
but I think Councilman Conley, and I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, was like in agreement as long as he is going to meet the person that owns the dog and make sure that that dog is escorted in and then taken to the car with a leash. I mean, I'm okay with that.
I appreciate that, Rob. It's just that wasn't the condition that Kevin agreed from Caleb to put on there. And I'm not saying yay or nay on the condition at all. I'm just simply saying that no petitioner could sit here and say, yeah, I agree, and then come back and find out it's going to cost them $150,000 or $12,000 or $4.87. We don't know. So we can't agree to accept the condition, not saying it's not reasonable, can't agree to accept the condition until we know what the condition's going to take to be designed and to be located and the cost.
What is your timeline to open this business?
Can we defer this until the next month? He can investigate the gated or the fenced-in area, the cost of that. He can come back and tell us if he's agreeable to that. I think it's more secure than relying on him and his customers who may or may not know this practice of waiting for him to come to be greeted. or to come and greet them. I just think it's safer. But
Mr. Conley, what's your motion on the floor? What are you,
So I do think that since we've got a few months to work with here, I'll rescind my initial motion. I'll make the motion to defer to give you a chance to look into this potential gate and then come back to staff and let us know what you find. And if it's reasonable, maybe we can pursue it or you can pursue it. If it's not, then we perhaps reconsider. I don't want to dismiss the concern, but I think since we have a few months to work with, let's look into it.
I'll second the motion to defer.
so is that your motion?
Yes, motion to
So we
defer.
have a motion to defer with a second. Roll call, Mr. Troxel.
Yes. Second here. Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Conley,
Yes.
Mr. Getzloff,
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt.
No.
Okay, thank you very much.
Motion to defer is 3-1. Next item is consider acceptance of donations for $2,230.77. Mr. Troxel.
Yes, Mr. President. These donations were accepted through the month of September to the donation fund K9. We received $1,900 for the Schererville Police Department / K9 fundraiser for T-shirts and sweatshirt sales. The donation fund for the Police and Fire 9/11 Memorial, we received $100 from David and Patricia Mendoza, received $25 from Loretta Kujawa, and the clerk's office collection box, which was for miscellaneous donations that was set up in our office, there was $205.77 for a total for the Police and Fire Memorial, $303.77 for a total for the month, $2,230.77.
Motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Next item is business from the floor. Is there any comments from business from the floor? Any comments from the floor? No comments from the floor. This meeting is adjourned. Have a good night.